This is a tutorial on how to generate a lesson in Mindsmith. This is the dashboard you see when you first log in. There's a bunch of cool stuff here, but today we'll be focusing on how to generate a lesson. So you click this big button, New Lesson, which brings open our generator. The generator is the place in Mindsmith where you tell the AI all of the context of what you're trying to build. So I can use this example of effective communication skills. I start here by telling it basically my vision for the lesson. So in this example, I say, okay, it's a course that covers effective communication skills. I want it to cover these topics. I can also give it structural guidance, which is cool. So in this example, I say use accordion elements for in-depth explanations, conclude with scenario-based questions. Maybe I want to say like, do a deep dive into content and then review with drag and drops. Or I want to see an assessment question at the end of every page. Or I want to see 14 assessment questions, whatever. You can tell the AI here. Also any macro guidance. So like who the lesson is for, audience, narrative, style, writing style, any of that stuff, you tell the AI. The next thing you do is upload your documents. So in Mindsmith, we take any text-based document, so PDF, PowerPoint, Word document, and then you tell the AI how you want it to look at your document. So we have three options. Use as sources is really going to prioritize your instructions and only pick and choose relevant things from the document. Convert is like I have this document and I want to convert it into an e-learning module, so it's much more strict on the content of the document. And then import is all the way on the side of verbatim, where the only heavy lifting that the AI does there is if you have like an assessment question in your document, then it'll turn it into an assessment tile in Mindsmith. Same thing with like flashcards and things like that. And then you can play around with some of these other settings. I'll generate the outline, but you can tell it the length, so you can have the AI decide, or you can tell it a Mindsmith lesson is somewhere between 5 and 25 minutes. We do also have a course generator, so if you want to generate like 5 lessons all together as like a 1-hour course, then you can do that as well. But the lessons we try to keep in this range of 5 to 25 minutes. Images, you can do AI generated images, or you can pull from the web, real images from the web, or use Unsplash. You can mess around with the page length. This is also really cool. The AI will can conceptualize the images in your document and then bring them into a relevant place in the lesson. And you can have the AI cite your document directly, which can be really helpful. So your learner can see where something is coming from for your lesson. So then what we did is we generated the storyboard here. The storyboard is really cool. It's a totally text-based storyboard, but essentially what it does is it shows you where the AI is getting its information from in the document. So you can see here, this is a copy and paste from the document, and it generates a description of every page in your lesson. So you can see that this page is talking about the fundamentals of communication. It's talking about the definition of communication, whatever. And this, of course, is fully editable. So if I want to jump in and say, like, using a story of an employee who did the wrong thing, all right, I can actually do it here. Using a story of an employee who did the wrong thing, talk about, or maybe I want to say a manager who did the wrong thing, talk about fundamentals of communication. So I can get really specific, like I said in the guidance I'm giving the AI. Obviously, if I'm creating like a custom course or lesson for a particular company, then I want to be more specific about the company, the role, other things like that. So the idea is that you get granular in the vision you're telling the AI before you generate the lesson all the way. You can play around with some of the other settings here. They're the same settings as you saw in the generation. I'm going to use the Flux image model. I tend to like that one the best. And then you just generate the lesson. You can, of course, in this in the storyboard, you can rearrange these different pieces. You can add sections. You can add pages, all that stuff. So here's the lesson that got generated. You'll notice that every element in Mindsmith gets a tile, and the tiles you can rearrange and resize. So this is an AI generated image. Maybe I want to bring it up to the side here. I can do that. Maybe I want to pull this, this row across, make it a little bit taller. Everything's just super easy. You'll also notice that all of the options within the tiles, you just go in the options here. So if I want to play around with like maybe adding a background image to this particular tile or whatever, every tile has its own advanced settings. Maybe you want to like force completion on a video. All of that you can just do super easily in this nice like WYSIWYG editor. Also, if you want to add a tile manually, you can do that here at the bottom. We have some quick adds here, or you can pull from any of our large list of interactives. So if I want to pull in tabs or an accordion, I just drag it and drop it in, and then I can edit these manually. We just make it super easy to edit these. We also have an AI assistant that's crazy powerful. It can do pretty much anything in Mindsmith. For example, if I have this text tile, I can convert it into an accordion tile. So I just tell it here, convert this text tile into an accordion, and it will do that automatically for me. So it'll take the same content and turn it into an accordion. So it understands tiles, it understands the elements within the tiles, it understands where the tile fits in the context of the rest of the lesson. And it also understands a page, or if you want to do multiple pages as a section or the entire lesson, I could say like, add a page on this topic referencing this document, and I want to see an assessment question, a case study, and an AI generated image, and it will construct this new page for me, and it'll understand where the page again sits in the context of the rest of the lesson. So really powerful feature here, the AI assistant. The idea being that that initial generation gets you most of the way there. It's a really solid drafter template. And then the assistant helps in the fine tuning, more granular process. A lot of the tasks that are kind of annoying to do, the assistant can help with. A lot of other things. We have theming, so really powerful theming palettes here. You can save the themes to your organization. We also have AI audio narration, so very natural sounding voices from OpenAI or 11 Labs. So you just generate them here and they're all ready to go. It's a native audio feature. You can also turn on autoplay and things like that for the audio. Comments, of course, for your collaborative workflows. By the way, we do have real-time collaboration, so similar to like working in other apps like Figma or Miro. You can work in real time in Mindsmith. So you can see here I'm in another tab, and you can see me working collaboratively. So maybe I want to say like, and you can see as I type in the other screen. So really powerful workflow there. And of course, you can add comments again around that collaborative workflow. Some other cool things. So you can create multiple language versions of a lesson that are all saved within one file. So I can create the French version, we'll translate it for you. Then you can go in and edit it to make sure that that version matches your expectations. And then the file itself, after you upload the file to the LMS, the SCORM file is most typical. The file itself will give the learner the version that matches their device language. So if I've created a French version and their phone's in French, then it will give them the French version automatically. So really helpful for like large teams or if you're managing multiple languages. Film strip here on the left. I can make it permanent if I'd like. So just however I want to do my workflow. We have some options up here. You can save version history. So if you want to revert back to previous versions, we make that easy for you. We also track things, all sorts of different things if you want to see learner engagement. By the way, you can export your SCORM file as a dynamic SCORM file, which means if you change something in Mindsmith, it will update in the LMS automatically. So you don't have to delete it from the LMS, change it in the authoring tool, re-download it, re-upload it. It's just a nice, smooth connection between us and the LMS, which again allows us to do these analytics. So even if you've uploaded your lesson as a SCORM file, a dynamic SCORM file to your LMS, we can still track all of these engagement metrics. Of course, advanced settings specific to the lesson, some other options if you want to play around with those. Of course, you can preview it so you can see what it looks like from the learner perspective. And then, yeah, you just click share, you enable sharing, you download as a SCORM package. We do also have static SCORM if you need, but typically dynamic, download, then upload to your LMS and you're ready to go. Thanks for watching. Bye.